Hello and welcome to Forge Beats. This is a two-part series of making ocean or maybe lake, whichever you want to call it. This video uses shader with displacement and displace modifier to create the wave effect. Part 2 will use the built-in ocean modifier, which was added in Blender. I think it was 3.0. So, and shout out to YouTube Pomoika for suggesting this topic. Sorry, I don't know how to call you, sir. So, I know your name translates to YouTube garbage, so tell me how to address you properly. So, without further ado, let's start making the ocean. First, add an empty, which will be the controller for the waves. We're going to hide the cube because we don't delete or kill the cube in this channel. Then we're going to add the plane, which will be the ocean. It's up to you if you want to make it larger, but we're going for the default size for now. So we're going to subdivide the plane by 100 because we're going to use displace modifier to make the waves. So now we're going to add the displace modifier. Here is it. And we're going to set the strength by 0.1. And we're going to click new and click the icon here, show texture in texture tab. And we're going to select clouds. Then we're going to set the size. Oh, I think that's good enough. I think we should shade smooth this one. There you go. Now we'll select the displace again, set this to object, and we're going to select the empty that we created earlier, which I mentioned will control the waves. So, yep. And we're going to add a driver in here. So, perhaps we can use like frame by 100. It does create a weird movement like that, but we could use the location instead. So, it's up to you which one you want. So we could set this to 0 and we could actually like do a maybe we could go with 100 and then keyframe it, add a single keyframe, then go to maybe 100. Let's see, keyframe it. There you go. So it moves, the waves move. Then we can also keyframe this one to add like, I think it's best to set the end frame by 100, so something like that. We could even make it more turbulent by adding a keyframe here. A driver, I meant. Something like that. So if you want a very long animation, just extend the end number, and if you're planning on like a loop animation, just make sure to have like a duplicate of this one. Go here and then like add another camera so you won't see the end loop. But anyway, that's not the topic for today. this is not about loop animation, this is about ocean or water. So since we're using displace and shader, we're going to click on the shading. I guess we could use or recycle the old material here. Go to shading. There you go. So first thing that we need, we don't really need the principal BSF, although we could use it for the SUD thing. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot. We need to have it on cycles. So let me disconnect this one for now. And perhaps we could go to... Oh yeah, maybe it's best time to add the HDRI so we could see properly what's going on and not just black stuff. Maybe I'll go for this one. There you go. And I'll turn off the... I'll make it transparent like that. Okay, since there's nothing connected, so we don't see anything. So we'll start with maybe we could start with transparency. Yeah, because like water is a bit transparent, so we're going to set it to transparent like that. And since we don't have anything underneath the waves, although you could see that there's a transparency pattern going on there, but yeah. Then we could connect this to like glossy thingy, and then like maybe let's set this to like bluish tint. Oh, I think it's supposed to be here. Although let's just leave it like that for now, because I have plans for that. So let me just move this a little bit like that, because I wanna plug in more mix shader in here, because I wanna use this one for the like the foamy bubbly thing that forms on the ocean. So but yeah, for now I'm going to set this one to a color ramp. Oops. Color ramp. And I'm going to use a layer weight. There you go. Now you can see those stuff going on, like a bit highlighted thing. It's much better with that, with the layer weight. So let's do it something like that, and maybe roughness, turn it down a little bit like that, because it's supposed to reflect the sky. Maybe 0.2. Let's round it off so it doesn't, it looks better. So we're getting there. Maybe I should stop the animation because it's hard to see with all those noise, rendering noise that we're getting. So let's see, this one, it's going to affect the let's just make it a little bit like bluish like that. Yeah, it's going to affect the highlight thing. So we kind of want the displacement also, but I think I'll finish the color part. So I'm going to duplicate this one. Why can't I duplicate it? There you go. And then I'm going to plug this one in here, and we're going to use like some noise in here. Of course, we're going to plug it into like a color ramp. So let's just duplicate this one and maybe make it really small. Oh, let's try and move this slider way up here so we can see. Yeah, we could see the... Oh, yeah, I think we need to move the camera as well. Maybe move it here. Something like that. There you go. We want it to be really small because like the foam is like really small, like, and we want it to be 4D because it's like randomly going around the water surface, and we want it to be sharp. I'm going to maybe I need to drop this one down. There you go. Let's use random number. Let's round off the number. Maybe 15 here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think that's fine. Then we're going to plug it into a value, and we're going to have the randomizer in here. So like I think we could use a very slow frame number here. Number, really slow moving number. I think it's kind of hard to see, but if you watch the intro of the video, yeah, it should be. I think we also need to like rotate where there's a bit of light, maybe around here. I'm gonna move the camera in here. Oops. There you go. So next, we're still not finished with the water part. We still need to like add ripples and stuff, like turbulence, and that's going to be under the displacement. So we're going to use I don't know how, I think it's height. Let's just put it in there. Oh, I think it's too much. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Let's use like a fixed number. 40. It's too much. Let's add a map range to make the values like really small, like that. Yeah, you can see the effect. So now we need to plug the W of this one into here, and then maybe we could like make two of it, and then mix RGB, combine the two, and have this one like 65. Let me turn off the displacement so you could see the effect. Let's try a little bit smaller. Yeah, I think that should do. And in here, 65. Yeah, this one. We could make this one like much bigger, but not too strong. Yeah, I think that should do it. Wait, I think we dropped this part too low. I almost can't see it. Oops. Oh, I've mistakenly typed in the W instead of the scale. Although I still can't see the effect. Oh, again, my mistake. We just put it like that. Let's compare. Okay, so this one is a bit bigger. This one is a bit smaller. So like combining them will make like big and small splotches and stuff. And we're going to connect this one. Oh wait, the W. We're going to connect this one here so that it would move. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Then we turn back on the displacement. So we have a sort of like flowing water going on. So no, it's up to you if you want it to like flow faster. You have the empty to control the movement, because as you can see it's following the empty. So if you want to make it faster, like moving really rapidly, just increase the speed of this one. Yeah, maybe we should increase the speed. Maybe instead of negative 100, we're going to set it like negative 200. Replacing the keyframe. And then in here, we're going for like 200. So that it's much faster. It flows more like water. Okay. Kinda hard to preview it with. Let me see if it works with Eevee. Let's see. Yeah, there's also an effect, so we could try it with Eevee so we could preview it like that. Yeah, I think it's good. And then where's the camera? Okay, here's the camera. So we could add something that would float along the. Maybe we could also add. Oh, before we do that, we need something like a floater, like a guide. So we're going to add a plane. Make it a little bit smaller. Actually, we're supposed to add the object first that we want to float before we add the guide, because the guide should be like larger than the item we want to float. So let me just roughly make a tube here like that. Although I think it's too big, so we're going to make it a little bit smaller like that. Yeah, I think something like that. And then we're going to need this one to be... oh! That's a nice coincidence. We've made it exactly the size of the tube. So we're going to subdivide this plane so that we have enough vertices for the waves. But we don't need to have it really high. Just enough to like wrinkle and wave along, like move along the wave. So I think that's good enough. Then select everything, and we're going to assign it into a vertex group. Ocean with the plane. So I'm going to select the... oh, maybe we should rename stuff here, like plane, ocean. And then this one, we're going to call it wave guide, or just guide. There you go. Guide. Okay. So it's easier for us to see. There you go. It shrink wrapped into the ocean. We're going to hide it anyway, but before that, we want to have this one follow. There you go. We want our object to follow the guide. So I'm going to copy location and copy rotation. We're going to select the guide, and we're going to select the group. That's why I've told you to add the vertices into a group. That's where we're going to use it. And the group. There you go. So now, if we move the guide around, you'll see that it somehow moves along the wave, like that. Can you see the movement? It's kinda subtle, but yeah, it moves. Maybe if we... oh, let's hide the guide so it doesn't... yeah, something like that. It moves. So, next. So whenever we want to move the tube, we just move the guide. So we could have the guide flow along, like since the water is like moving like that, very strong current. Maybe we could have the tube move towards that direction as well. So maybe we could add like a curve. Yeah, I think a path curve would do. Where is it? Let me isolate. Oh, it's going like that. Uh-oh. Gonna need to do something. I'm gonna pause. For some strange reason, when I unpaused my OBS recording, Yeah, it didn't record the continuation, so I'm re-recording it again. So I think we're supposed to add a path so that we could move the tube along the way the water moves like that. So I'm going on top view. I'm going to add a path. Then I'm going to edit the path and delete it. Then I'm going to draw a new path. So maybe something like a little bit curvy like that. And then, oh, it's a little bit down there. So I'm gonna select all, scale along the z-axis and move it upwards. I just basically just made it flat. And then move everything to like 0, like that. And then we're going to select the guide, and we're going to add a follow path. And we're going to select, oh, the old keyframe still here, so I'm going to remove it. I'm going to select the new path, and it should, I think we need to move it a little bit upwards, like that. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're good. So we're going to keyframe the start and end. So I'm going to set it somewhere here, keyframe it, go to the end frame, move it towards the end part, somewhere here, like that. Oh, it's out of camera range, so somewhere here, just before it exits the camera. And there you have it. So I'm going to remove the guide. And yeah, that's how you do it. If you want, you could import like an STL, a benchy. If you're familiar with the benchy, the one we used in 3D printing to calibrate the printer. This one, wow, it's huge. Let's scale it by 0.1. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we're going to add its own guide plane. So we're going to scale this one just enough to cover benchy. Then just the same, we're going to subdivide it by maybe 20, like that. Then we're going to apply, we're just redoing everything we did with the guide plane of the tube here, the torus. We're going to call this one boat guide. I'm going to add the shrink wrap and set it to the ocean. Oh, kind of forgot to select everything and create a group like that, assign. There you go. And then we're going to have this one follow. Oh, that's that one. Go to the constraint, add a copy location, add a rotation, then select the boat guide. Select the boat guide like that, and then we should be able to move this one and the boat will follow the wave. So maybe let's put it in here. Oh, we're looking at the opposite direction, so I'm going to move it somewhere here like that, and then we're going to keyframe the for the torus we used a path, and this one we'll just keyframe it. So I'm going to keyframe it here, then at this frame we're going to move it somewhere here like that. Keyframe it. So yeah, something like that. Oh, I think we had it on top of the tube, so we're going to change the position of this one. Let's have it somewhere here like that. Keyframe it. Then let's have it somewhere in here like that. And then hide the guide. There you go. It's a little bit bumpy. It doesn't look natural, but yeah, we could lower it like that. It's a little bit bumpy. We could one way to fix that is to make a separate wave that's going to be where the guide is going to be shrink wrapped, then hide it from view so that it's not that bumpy. So yeah, that's that's how you make the ocean thing or lake. And this is using shading with displacement and displace modifier. On the next part, we're going to use the ocean modifier. So like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and click that bell icon as well. Okay, thanks, bye!